Okay, we're recording. Let me share. Yes, kitty. Okay, so here's this week. All right, so I'm going to talk to you guys about CyberQ, even though it's not for this class, because I know we've all been worried about it. And I did get, near me. I have my cat that likes to, the reason she's named Meep is because that's what she sounds like. She goes, Meep, Meep.
I mean,
Yep. So when I talked to the representative, she said that they are creating codes for, I gave her a list of all my students that should be in the class. I gave her the emails that you guys have associated with, that should be associated with your accounts, at least they were with your old ones. And she said that they will put you guys in my class. They will add you into the right product. And then apparently the codes that they give me will, when you guys get them, you will register and they will put those in there. I'm hoping they come with instructions, because well, originally, I will say your comment about the wrong product. Originally, they were talking about CEH, and I said no, that's not what we're working on right now. We are working on this class, and I went and copied and pasted the stuff in there, so they have the actual class. So if that happens, yeah, we'll see. But for right now, they probably would have, yeah, but right now they should have the correct class. They have all of your names, and the way that it was worded was that she hoped she was getting the codes today, which is why I said don't bother continuing to do your work, because if they're giving you, yeah, exactly, operative word should, don't continue the work that you are doing right now, because I don't know what this transfer is going to do to mess up those of you that already got in and were doing stuff. So if
fair
you
warning,
did screen
if
cap what you have, what?
I was gonna make a joke and be like, fair warning, if for some reason it doesn't show it, I have all the modules
You're
done.
like, I did all the things. Yeah, I need proof.
100% across the board.
Screen cap what you have right now if you have stuff. I have the access to the old system, so I took a download of everything that I could see from that. And then we can go from there. But I don't see a point in you guys bashing your head against it when they're going to reissue codes for the entire class anyway. So yeah, it sounds like there is a whole bunch of miscommunication between everybody in their different departments too, because it sounds like the rep was told that they wouldn't be doing this for at least another month. So she was upset, because it makes them look really bad when they don't contact people and when this is coming up, and it's just been terrible. So don't worry about the lab portion of that for this week, because I have a sneaking suspicion we're not going to get those codes until, if we get them tomorrow, I'll be really happy. But that doesn't leave you guys a whole lot of time.
They don't have a Steve 2, because if they did, there two of me on the internet at the same time, like
You
it would just
probably
go up in
blow it.
flames.
Yeah, I was gonna say it'd be one of those exponentially explosive type things. Yep. So so that's where we are on that. I would like for you guys to, because I know it's a different system for reading, so read and do the test that will be there. tomorrow, and I will scoot the test out so it won't be due Sunday. I'll have everything due Monday. We'll have a, Friday forensics tool that I'll walk through with you guys tomorrow. And then I'll set the test due on Monday, maybe Tuesday, just because this has been such a mess for everybody. You guys have been really great through the whole thing. I took a bunch of ticket numbers from people, so they have ticket numbers. They have proof that we've been trying to work with them. And I am just very sorry that this has happened again. So, yeah. Wrap up on that. Don't worry about CyberQ labs. Do your reading. And then I will put some notes out on that that's 257, Monday, Wednesday, Friday class. And then, so now we can go into our programming class for tonight. I know there were some questions on the types of things you could do. It feels like it should be Friday, doesn't it, German? It really does. I woke up today and was like, oh, it's Friday. It's not Friday. It's Thursday. Yeah. So I totally get that. There were some questions on the types of projects. So if you have an idea, just throw it out there. I have yet to say no, because you guys have all come up with some really good ideas. Yeah, I know. I wish today was Friday. This week's been rough for everybody, I know. So yeah, we've had some really good ideas. And talk to your classmates. If you're stuck, Discord it and say, hey, what are you guys doing? Or hey, I'm thinking about this. What do you think? But you're more than welcome to bounce ideas off of Zach and I, because Zach has used this stuff. So I've only used it for little bits and pieces. So Zach has used it because Linux is his home. He's used it for a lot of things. Yeah, you could do that if you want to be really mean. You could absolutely do a script that uninstalls Linux when you guess a number. Guess the number between 1 and 10, and it will run a fun program, and it uninstalls Linux. Yes, but I would like to see the code for that. So if you decide to do that, show me the code of how you would do that. Okay. All right. So yeah, don't test it unless you have like a bunch of things that you want to destroy. Oh, I did already have that open. Okay, so last time we worked on, let's see, was it string length? Oh, bash. I'm just trying to look back on what we were working on. Does this one look familiar? Because I don't think we covered this one. Bash RC, did we talk about that at all last time? I don't think we did. Okay, I'm not crazy. I didn't think so. Okay. Even if we did, then we can talk about it again. So we're going to do from bash RC to iterate nose. I may have to pause a couple of times just to take a drink or something. So be patient. And if you have any questions, let me know. We did do string length, but I can go over that one really quick. So string length is, let me scroll down here. Basically, it's that you can have these echoes out. You can echo out strings, and then you can tell it in the expression that you only want a certain length of, you want to put basically a limit on how long of the string length is. So that's why sometimes, see that right here, they'll say, okay, we want you to print this out, but it can only be so many characters long. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That was the last thing we went over last time. So I'm not surprised that it doesn't sound familiar. I think we were all pretty tired by then. Okay. So bash RC, bash or shell script, the dot bash RC, reload and location example for this is like split string into multiple strings using awk and ifs examples. So this is a file that's a bash script file. It executes the following cases. You can do bash script execution, bash shell is opened and started interactively. The file is hidden by default because the file starts with a dot are hidden. So you would have to set your view properties in order to see things like this. So that you can see your hidden files in Linux. The bash RC file is the script that runs while the user logs in, and it's located in your home directory. So this is how you can create something like this. And you can do that Vi or Nano editor to view this file. And you can see this right here is how you would open that up. So where is it located? There are two places. You have that in your user home directory or your system directory. In the case of the home directory, like they said, it's hidden by default. And you see the location is that ~/.bashrc, where tilde is the current user logged in home directory. And then in the system directory, it is the /etc/bash.bashrc. So how do you reload the settings without logging out and back in? If you make any changes to the file, changes are not reflected immediately. You have to close and restart the bash session to make the changes. So how to reload those configurations without logging in again? You just run the following command in your command prompt, that source space ~bash rc. Or you can use the shorter version, that period space ~/bash rc. Or you can execute bash again with execute bash. And then that execute command resets your current session, and whatever you've changed in the bash RC. So this is telling you where this is, so that if there's any sorts of settings that you might want to change, you can go in and change those. I would say this is one of those ones that you would need a cheat sheet, just so you can go, okay, what does that do? Because deleting everything in there and then saving it probably is not going to be a good move. Okay. Ternary operators. It doesn't have, bash programming doesn't have support for ternary operator syntax. They're written in Java language. So of course it doesn't support those. It's similar to the if and else conditional expression. If the expression is true, value 1 is returned, else value 2. So how do you do this in bash? There are several ways you can write that syntax in place of how it would normally be written in Java. So here is your examples. For those of you want to do a if then else, and then remember how you do the starting thing backwards to stop it. So it goes if and then phi to n. So those of you that might want to do something a little more complicated, here is an if. On this one, we're saying the age is 25. So if age is equal to minus then or equal to 25, then the result equals true. Else result equals false. and then the echo results. The other way you can do it is you can do arithmetic expressions with the and the pipe syntax, double pipe syntax. Personally, I prefer the if then else. That's just me personally. So here you'll see the and pipe option if you decide you want to do that. There is another way using let. We can assign the variables based on condition expression results. So first equals 10, second equals true, third equals false. So let the result equal first. And remember, the double equal means that it has to equal exactly that. And then second, colon, third, and then you echo the results out to true. Yeah, I don't like the bottom two as much. I mean, you can use them, but personally, this top one is my happy place because it's closer to what I saw in like C# and Java. So it makes more sense to me. That's not to say the other ones don't work. They do. It's just that it makes more sense to me to use the if then else than it does the other way. Okay. Lowercase. So how do you convert a string to lowercase in Bash script? So if you have hello world, the output can be all lowercase. So there are multiple ways to do this, depending on the type of and version. You can use the tr command, which is short for translator, which is a Unix command used to convert characters from one format to another. And then this is the format, tr input format, output format. So this one, you see your message with the caps upper in there, and then echo message, translate uppercase to lowercase. Okay, does that make sense on that one?
Makes sense, but why would you do it?
I don't know. I mean, I think there are some things that you might use this in if you're, if you want to echo out certain things that you want to save only in uppercase or lowercase, you can do it that way.
I was gonna say the only way I could imagine this, any reason for this like being used is if it was linked to something else. So like echo it in lowercase for a if or then statement.
Yeah, I
But
think,
otherwise, like just write it out as "Hello World, welcome" in either upper or lowercase. Like,
yeah. I personally don't know what I would use it for, but that's not to say that somebody could use it. So there's another way to do that. And you see this down here for the translate. Instead of upper lower, you can see that they have capital A-Z and then lowercase a-z. And then it works with ASCII, but it does not support UTF characters. If you want to use the awk command, you can use to lower function. So you'll see that one's a little bit more descriptive. Then you have Perl in Bash with LC, which is lowercase, which will do, as you see right here, print in lowercase. You know, it's possible they might have it hooked to like SQL or something. And I've seen inventory management systems where you have to have upper or lowercase. So that's one way you could do it. And then there's also things where you can do different echoes out for syntax. Okay. Now uppercase is literally just the opposite of what we went through. So instead of upper to lower, it goes lower to upper. And then it makes it look like you're screaming at people. So this is a lowercase string converted to uppercase. There you go. So this is literally just the opposite. I have seen more use for this, for the lower to upper. I've seen a lot of inventory systems where they do everything in all uppercase. So I could see that. Pardon me. And then, you know, we've got our Perl. And here's our example here. So there you go. There's an example of lowercase, uppercase conversion if for some reason you might need it. Okay. Next, substring. So bash script is designed to determine whether a string contains specific substrings. There are multiple ways to perform this check, and then we have a bunch of them outlined below. You can use the comparison operator to check for if a substring exists or not. You define a string variable containing text. If the statement, use the if statement to compare the string with the desired substring using the equality, that's our equals, and you can use that with the wildcard. And then you print the string if the substring is found. So we have welcome to W3 schools. If main string equals, there's your wildcard. And it's basically, it's saying, does that phrase exist anywhere in the main string? Then echo W3 schools exists in the main string. Okay. So this is kind of like using a checker and a filter almost. So you go, okay, here's a thing. If I find any of this in that thing, then we'll echo out whatever statement tells us, okay, yes, we found the thing. That is the whole point right there. Then you can use regular expressions to find it. So the same thing, main string, and if it is equal tilde, and that's kind of used as approximately, meaning is that thing in there, then echo out the command or the string that says, hey, it's in there. You can also use the grep command or grep command, which is employed to search for a specific string and pipe it to the main string for comparison. So you have your main string, if main string, pipe grep q w schools, just W3 schools, then echo out the thing. So those are our three methods here. I see a lot of people use the grep for searching. So that's one that you might want to look up, that grep command, and see what all it can do. Because that one's used for a lot of things. In fact, why don't we do that? See if we have a cheat sheet. Look at that, we do. So there you go. Go away. Yes, I'm fine not supporting you. Okay, so here's our getting started. You can do grep, then you have your options and your search string. So you can see there's lots of ways that you can use this. I will put a link to this out there in the cheat sheets. I'll put grep cheat sheet and the documents so you guys can go look at it. But it is very good for searching. Okay, any questions before I go on to variable set and, well, the last two items? No, my brain hurts. No. Gotcha. All right. Variable sets. So This is about checking variables in Bash shell script programming for the variable is a set or not, if it's empty or non-empty, or checking for variable if it's an empty string or not. So here's our variable declarations. So price semicolon, that's value variable is not declared and unset. Then we have our price equals semicolon, variable is declared and not unset. Price equals your number here, variable is declared, assigned, and not unset. And then price equals inside our parentheses. Variable is declared, assigned, and not unset. And then we also have unset price. Variable is not declared and it's been unset. Whenever I hear that swiper no swiping, it makes me think of the comedy special by, oh, I can't remember her name, but she made me just die laughing. So, okay. So here, how do we use this? Here are some examples. Variable 1 is declared but empty. Variable 2 is not declared and not set. So variable 1, we have an empty string. If variable 1 plus X, then echo variable 1 is set, else echo variable 1 is not set. And then on variable 2, which is not listed anywhere in here, you can see, so because it's not declared, you're going to get an error or a message that says it's not set. See down here, hey, look, we found this one, it's set. Guess what? You forgot to set this one. So that's basically all that's used for. A lot of times these are used for error checking. If you're going back after someone else and you're doing like a whole sheet of them and you're checking to make sure, hey, I've got 90 different things. Rather than trying to read everything, I'm going to create this to make sure that these variables were entered. So that's why they have these. Now this is another one. You can do the -v option. So variable 1, empty, if exclamation point dash variable 1, then echo unset, else variable 1 is set. So variable 1 is unset because it's blank. Then we have, if it does not exist, it is not declared. Variable 1, and this next one is declared but empty. Variable 2 is not declared and it is unset. So you see our variable 1 with our nice empty quotes, and then variable 2 is nowhere to be found. So variable 1 equals empty quotes, and then if you have here our nice if then, echo variable is not set, else variable is set. And then down here we have the same thing, variable 2, then variable 2 is not set or unset on this one, else echo variable 2 is set. So the top one, variable 1 is set. There's declared, and this is talking about the difference between set and unset, and declared, which is probably going to make your brains bleed out, but declared means that you have something between that little thingies. But set and unset means that you actually have something. Variable 2, there's literally nothing there, so it's not set or unset. So here's your non-empty empty one, and there are a couple of different options. So of course, since there are literally no values in between, variable 1 is empty. And then we can also check not to empty. We have the exclamation operator that we can check on. If this is equal to, there's an empty quotes here. then echo variable one is empty, else variable one is not empty. So we're saying, hey, if this actually looks like this, say, dude, it's empty. If it's not, say it's not empty. And then the other way to do that looks very similar, but it just has, you can see a different set of quotes. So it just depends on if you want to add another set of quotes in there. On this one, it's going to say empty because there's nothing in the quotes. And on this one, 2 and 3, one's empty and one has a value. So we have our options here is set and empty, is set and non-empty. So we have down here, because we have one that actually has a value, one is set and is empty. So, hey, there's variable 2 somewhere out there, but it doesn't have anything set for it. But variable 3 is set, and guess what? There's something actually sitting between those brackets. So it's not technically empty. I don't expect any of you to use this in your projects. Unless you really feel like you have to. This is just here for you so that you can see how to do some data checking. Okay, lastly, this is iterate knows. So this is multiple ways to iterate the range of numbers stored in variable and print them to console. So in this example, we'll generate a sequence of a range of numbers and store it in a variable. Sometimes we want to generate file names with names containing numbers generated from a sequence or range of numbers. So math, lovely. We use sequence. The sequence tool generates a sequence of numbers. So number 4, 4K in, we have here, sequence 1 number do echo this. And it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. We can use it for a loop. And then you can see here, it just goes through and does 1, 2, 3, 4. Then there's looping, which, unless you are a huge fan of math, I don't see a lot of you using this. So yeah, no, 9 various different words for no. Yay! For those of you that know Japanese. Okay. So I just wanted you guys to see that this was there. I don't expect you to use this, but there is a way to set numbers and do iterative loops with them if you so choose. I don't expect it for the project that you have. What you guys need for that project is something useful or amusing, and it has to be more than one line. By that, I would like to see, I've seen what you guys can do. I'd like to see 5 or 6 or more lines of something, just because, you know, it's worth 100 points, and the one that you guys did for 25 points had significantly more than one line. So if you run into issues, let me know. Let Zach know. You know, there's both of us here. If we can't figure out how to fix it between the two of us, then, you know, well, I have yet to find something between Zach and I that we can't figure out with Linux. So, so that is what you need. This is for Sunday. So all I want, and I'll say this again, all I want is the text. You don't have to turn the actual script into me. I just want the text, because I can always copy and paste it in and use it myself, but I need to be able to just, rather than having to download it and go into my virtual Linux box and blah, 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 I would rather just have the text so I can look at your program. Okay? Does that make sense to everybody? Bueno, okay. Thank you, thank you. It makes it a lot easier and a lot faster for me to grade. Also, Blackboard does not really like scripts. So there have been a couple of times when I've tried to download it and it just goes, what is this file? And crashes. So when it's text, it's a lot easier because I can just copy it, dump it in, and run it myself.
I mean, she didn't say no uploading viruses to CWI, Mike.
Please don't upload. Do not use your powers for bad.
It's only bad if you're
covered.
caught.
Yeah, because that reflects on me. Don't get teacher in trouble, okay?
Once again, they can't catch me doing anything because I just go near things and they break.
Well, that is true. You are like the gremlins. You know, just go walk near the server room. I really think that they should just take you in as an auditor and call it the Steve effect and have you just walk back and forth near stuff. You could actually start charging for that, you know.
That would be pretty sweet.
I know, right?
And then I'm just imagining someone like German tearing their hair out as they have to fix it. I'm liking this idea.
Professional gremlin at your service. Okay, so are there any questions about the project? I have no idea if it's contagious. I do know that it works on VMs, which surprised me. I thought possibly that it might only work on physical computers, but his VM had some issues that I've never seen before, so it works on VMs too. So, okay. I know we're all goofy because we've all kind of had a rough week. So, project questions. Yay, nay. Do you guys kind of feel like you have an idea? If you haven't already started, I know some of you have. Do you have an idea of where you want to go? I do not mind if you guys talk to each other or help each other with this one because it's programming, and peer reviewing each other's code is a good way to learn. Just do not do it for each other. If I get a lot of the same exact code, I will make you do it again.
All I'm saying is I kind of want to finish it, but when you said 6 lines of code, something like 6 lines minimum, and I looked at my code real quick, and I was just like, I'm already a good bit over that. I could just turn it in now and complete.
Everybody is over that. I would expect significantly more. So that's why I was like, if someone manages to try and turn in a 1-line code, I will be A, impressed that you managed to do that, and B, disappointed. So yeah. Yeah, so the more effort that you put in, the better grade you will get, because the amount of effort and amusement or usefulness goes a long way. Ha ha ha, Mike. No, bad Mike. All right, so I'm assuming that we've all got a path. And if we have questions, we will hop on with Zach. I am not surprised. I'm really excited to see yours, Gwen, because your idea was really cool. And I can't wait to see it. So don't bully Zach. You may ask Zach questions. That's different. But yeah, no, he has TAC rooms for a reason. So talk to him. And I am here on Zoom.
Who's Will, Gustavo?
So let me stop my screen share here. So yeah, we have lots of resources. You can talk to each other. You can talk to us. We can work through stuff as a group. So there's lots of things that we can do. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and stop this and we'll talk some more about different homework things.